Yo, in this video I want to talk about keyboard shortcuts. I'm looking a little more cleaned up right now because I'm going to be going to this event that I got invited to for being a cursor user. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be just talking about, I guess, vibe coding. I'm going to be vibe coding my app right now. Just hanging out with people, like-minded individuals, see how that goes. But when it comes to keyboard shortcuts, I think there's a wisdom in them. There's something that I am discovering, a wisdom in keyboard shortcuts that is very interesting to me. It's tied to learning, but it's also just tied to having patience and adoring the mundane still. Like for me, I wouldn't be able to discover keyboard shortcuts if I didn't put enough attention to the mundane. Like if I didn't put enough attention to the fact that I am doing a task that is being repeated and is a task that I have to do, and it's a part of something larger, and like if I moved through life in a way that I was just doing the task, I was just doing it without any consciousness to it, any awareness to it, then I wouldn't really notice the task that I'm doing. For example, a lot of people, maybe they drive and they drive every day, but how often are they thinking about the car that they're driving? I don't know, the way that it works, even reading the car manual, like how many people actually read through their manual while driving their car, or when they have a question about their car, because it takes a lot of effort to go into your glove box and take out the manual and read and look for the section. I guess it does take a lot of mental effort because you're thinking about, it's a different commitment. It's a different level of commitment than just asking somebody like a mechanic out in the street. I think that if I just ask a stranger about my car, they would probably assume, or they would want me to have at least done some research and checked my manual. I think that's kind of something that's interesting to think about, because when we're thinking about keyboard shortcuts, for example, I'm performing a task. Maybe I'm an editor, I'm editing videos. And one thing that I find myself enjoying is discovering new keyboard shortcuts. But the only way that I discover the keyboard shortcuts is through me not only identifying that there's a redundant task that is happening, but it's also having this desire to want to learn more about Premiere Pro. I do want to learn more, right? Like if I didn't want to learn more, I would just do the thing and get it done. And so I would use Premiere Pro as a means to an end. And so then I wouldn't care to learn more about it. I wouldn't care to appreciate it more. So in doing keyboard shortcuts, I appreciate the thing that I'm doing more because I feel more connected to it. Like instead of me using it as a way to get somewhere, I'm embodying it. I'm becoming the thing itself. So if I look at a computer, for example, and I'm like, okay, I can type letters and I can use my computer to type stuff. But what about typing and using commands for my computer? I don't know, maybe like even the commands to be able to open up a new window, to change between tabs, to open up the terminal. Like these different things that I wasn't aware of. Like now I get to understand how my computer works in the background, and so now my keyboard becomes something that is an instrument for me to play music. It's an instrument for me to play something that I want to play. And the more that I learn about it, the more it rewards me. And in learning, I also get to shortcut my way to it. Keyboard shortcuts, right? And so people think that the shortcut comes from just getting the thing done quickly, but really the shortcut came from getting deeper into it and appreciating it more. In a way, spending more focused energy, more time into the thing that then inevitably and genuinely brought me a shortcut. And so it's this concept of the deeper you go into it, the more it gives back to you. And so in a world where people are wanting to shortcut their way through life, keyboard shortcuts bring a wisdom of the less you try to shortcut your way through life, and the deeper you get into learning about the thing, the easier it becomes. That's the thing. It's like it becomes easier the more focus you give it. It becomes easier the more time you put into it. It becomes easier the more you appreciate it. So in terms of also, I think it's awesome that a computer, just in general, is just kind of my appreciation towards computers. It's like I can think about me clicking around the UI, and I'm clicking on the screen, different things, and then inevitably eventually I get the cut. I get to cut a portion of a video. So I have to click a few things, at least 3 things to get there, right? There's different ways to go about doing things. And to imagine having done that 100 times, because I did do this. I was cutting things very, very, when I was first learning Premiere Pro, I was just clicking around. To have been doing that, hundreds or thousands of times, and to eventually get to a point where I just click one button and it cuts it for me without all this effort. It's like I have those 100 tasks within that one button, and now so those 100 tasks, like, I have so much appreciation for this one shortcut because of all the times that I put into it. That it's like I'm getting a portion of myself. I'm getting a portion of myself, like actions that I create, like me clicking around. They become compressed into this one single thing that's just a button. And so this button is a reenactment of these actions that I had performed. And I think that to me is really magical. I think there's a beauty in that. Shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, computers, you get that from computers. So the more you learn about the thing, the more you get to shortcut it. And I think this can happen anywhere in life. The more you learn about it, the easier it becomes for you to get through it quickly, and to find little kinks and little things that you can continue to refine. You start general, you keep refining it, and then as you get into the very minute, that's where you start to really make some big changes. It's like, instead of going top to bottom, going from bottom, and it affects the output very, very much. So that is the wisdom within keyboard shortcuts. Okay, I hope that you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next video. Stay lucid. Peace.